Battlefield Codebreaker, short story by JameliaAlicia. My brain was a map into archives and a room for problem solving. I was a genius at heart, and nothing was a problem for me, as I knew my way around things. The lioness of the genius world. The more I stared into the screen, the more my mind expanded into roads and bridges of intelligence and scripted frequencies. Intuition of the mind was mastery, that was engaged in and was not afraid to challenge. The more I went up in my brain, the more intuition that came in was believable and true. I was able to cancel out the ones that were a lie to the brain. The roadmap of battlefields and trenches came in equations and sequences on the side of the computer screen. My eyes would occasionally shift between the screens as I made notes of opponents and equations delivered back to me. This was a global game of defeat, and I already knew who the winner was. In this game, no one had a name besides the equations and icons of their avatar. Her name was Willow. Willow smirked at the screen and mumbled numbers between her breaths, as the pupils of her eyes became a coded picture of numbers. As she looked closely at the coded words of intellect and wonder, her mind acted with speed and focused on the bigger picture of solving. The roadmap of battlefields and trenches came in equations and sequences on the side of the computer screen. My eyes would occasionally shift between the screens as I made notes of opponents and equations delivered back to me. This was a global game of defeat, and I already knew who the winner was. In this game, no one had a name besides the equations and icons of their avatar. Guessing who was on the receiving end was an endless battle. The focus is on winning and understanding the game. Her name was Willow. Willow smirked at the screen and mumbled numbers between her breaths as the pupils of her eyes became a coded picture of numbers. As she looked closely at the coded words of intellect and wonder, her mind acted with speed and focused on the bigger picture of solving the battlefield before her. The battlefield spread across the monitor like a living puzzle. Thousands of tiny units moved across valleys, rivers, mountain passes, and hidden tunnels. Most players would take hours to understand the layout. Willow only needed minutes. I leaned forward in my chair. The enemy commander had divided their forces into 7 battalions. At first glance, the formation appeared random, but patterns were never random. Every decision left footprints. My fingers danced across the keyboard. 3 minutes, I whispered. The simulation responded with flashing icons. Blue and red symbols moved across the digital terrain, while probability calculations unfolded beside them. The numbers formed rivers of information flowing through my thoughts. 92% chance of ambush. 87% chance of supply chain collapse. 98% chance of battlefield victory. The answer was obvious. I rerouted 2 divisions through an abandoned trench system hidden beneath the eastern ridge. At the same time, I triggered a decoy retreat in the western sector. The enemy swallowed the bait immediately. Their forces surged forward. Exactly as predicted. The battlefield lit up with notifications. Enemy communication disrupted. Enemy artillery isolated. Enemy supply lines severed. My lips curled into a grin. Checkmate. The entire operation had taken 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Around the world, spectators watching the championship stream exploded into disbelief. Comment sections were flooded with messages. Analysts stared at their screens in silence. Even the game's artificial intelligence commentators paused before announcing the result. Victory awarded to Willow. I sat back in my chair. Another battlefield solved. Another impossible challenge reduced to mathematics. Yet, as the victory screen appeared, something strange happened. The monitor flickered. Once, twice. Then a new window opened on its own. I frowned. No one had access to my system. Lines of unfamiliar code appeared across the screen. Symbols I had never seen before spiraled into geometric patterns. The battlefield I had just conquered reconstructed itself before my eyes, but it looked different. Real. The trenches were deeper. The smoke moved naturally. The rivers flowed, and tiny figures marched through the landscape as if they were alive. A chill ran down my spine. What is this? The screen zoomed forward without my command. The battlefield grew larger and larger until it filled my vision completely. Suddenly, the room around me disappeared. My chair, my desk, my computer. Gone. I stood in the middle of a cold trench beneath a dark sky. The scent of smoke filled the air. Distant explosions echoed across the horizon. Thousands of soldiers moved through the mud-covered battlefield exactly as they had in my simulation. My heart pounded. This wasn't a game anymore. Somehow, impossibly, I had entered the very battlefield I had destroyed. And somewhere beyond the smoke, someone, or something, was waiting for me. But who? The ground shook beneath my boots. A distant explosion sent a shower of dirt into the air as soldiers rushed past me. None of them seemed surprised by my sudden appearance. They moved with purpose, carrying weapons and shouting orders in a language I somehow understood. My chest tightened. This wasn't possible. I had designed this battlefield. Every trench, every hill, every hidden route. I knew this place better than anyone. A young soldier sprinted toward me. "Commander Willow!" I blinked. "Commander?" The soldier saluted sharply. "The western ridge is holding, but we've lost contact with the eastern tunnels." Eastern tunnels. The exact tunnels I had used to win the simulation. I stared at him. "What year is this?" The soldier looked confused. "Year 2749, Commander." My stomach dropped. 200 years in the future. Or perhaps another universe entirely. A deafening boom interrupted my thoughts. The sky lit up with streaks of blue fire. Machines. Massive metallic machines emerged from the fog beyond the battlefield. They towered over the trenches like moving fortresses. Their bodies were covered with symbols that glowed white against black steel. The soldiers around me immediately took cover. Fear spread across their faces. One of the machines turned its head. Its glowing eyes locked directly onto me. I felt a strange sensation pulse through my skull. Then words appeared inside my mind. "Battlefield creator detected." I froze. The machine knew who I was. No, not who I was. What I was. The battlefield itself recognized me. Suddenly images flooded my mind. A company. Glass skyscrapers. Video game advertisements. Millions of players. My face on magazine covers. I saw myself years from now. CEO of the most successful gaming company in history. But there was more. The games weren't games. They were gateways. Every battlefield I designed existed somewhere. Every strategy simulation connected to a real world hidden beyond human understanding. The vision vanished. I fell to one knee. The machine continued to stare. Battlefield creator detected. Primary objective, return creator to control center. Its chest opened. Inside was a swirling portal of silver light. Run! But I couldn't move. Curiosity was stronger than fear. For my entire life, I had solved battlefields. Now the battlefield was trying to solve me. I stepped toward the machine. The silver portal expanded. Wind whipped across the trenches. The world blurred. Then, everything disappeared. When my vision returned, I stood inside an enormous circular chamber. Screens covered every wall, thousands of them. Each displayed a different battlefield, different worlds, different wars, different histories. And at the center of the room sat a single chair. A chair that looked suspiciously like a CEO's office chair. Above it floated glowing words. "Welcome, Willow, Chief Executive Officer of the Battlefield Network." I stared upward. "What is the Battlefield Network?" The chamber became silent. Then a woman's voice echoed throughout the room. "You built it." I turned. Standing behind me was a woman who looked exactly like me. Same face, same eyes, same confident smile. Only older. Much older. Perhaps 60 years older. "Hello, Willow." I swallowed. Who are you? The older woman smiled. I am the version of you who never returned home. Outside the windows of the chamber, thousands of battlefields stretched across entire universes. And for the first time in my life, I had encountered a puzzle that I could not solve in under 3 minutes.